Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
That is me, Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Give me a call right now, 1-800-252-1025, or we will take your emails at lifecoach@KZOK. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's talk to Jet in Kingston. Good morning, Jet. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you. I have not met anybody else named Jet. I think John Travolta's kid is named Jet. Is that right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So what can I do for you this morning?
Well, I've got a 19-year-old son that I love dearly, and he's going to college, and I don't know how much I should contribute to his college, or when he's home on summer break, how much should he get a job, how much should he be required to do around the house. I'm just kind of struggling with that.
No, I understand completely, but what do you want? What's he doing all this work for? Do you want some kind of remuneration from your son?
No.
So really, he's going to college. Things are getting expensive. And by the way, I find how much kids have to start their lives off in debt with, the fees going on and book loans and the whole thing. College loans are just crazy. So give me the exact skinny on this. He's going to college. He's going to stay with you. Or is he going to go to college?
No, he's staying in a dorm.
Staying in a dorm. So how much is this all going to cost him?
It's costing about $20,000 a year.
Wow, God, it seems absurd to me, but okay. So how is he coming up with this money?
Well, he's getting student loans. He's getting a little bit in grant money, not much, and it's coming out to about half of it being financed, and I've been paying half of the tuition.
Okay,
So,
I put it this way, that he's over 18. No matter how you want to work it out between you, you're paying for it. He's got to pay you back for that money. You're not a bank. You're not an ATM machine. He went to college, and he needs to be able to pay you back. And plus, when he graduates, what will he be?
that's a good question.
Is he going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a beggar man? What's he going to be?
He's majoring in forestry.
In forestry? Yeah, okay. So, you know what? You can eat this if you will. How would you pay this $10,000 a year off?
How would I?
Yeah. You said you're covering about half of it. That's $10,000 a year.
Yeah, yep. I'd make payments.
Here's what is going to happen. I'll tell you what, it's not necessarily what I think should happen, but it's what's going to happen. You're going to make those payments. Your investment is in your child. He's not going to owe you this money when he gets older. It's going to be something he feels like doing when he gets, but he doesn't want his mother to be buried in this kind of debt. I think what you do is you pay it, and then when he graduates college, he looks at you the same way he looks at those other lending institutions, and he pays you back. But here's the thing, Jet, to answer your question, I believe you should be paid back 100%. You've been there for him so much all through his life. Kids, everybody forgets what a mom does for their kids, what they give up. And I think that at some point you get to stop giving that away, and I think he will pay you back in full later in his life, but not now, doing how much around the house, how much work can he do. Let him work on studying, and later, when he graduates, he'll be able to pay you back in full, and I think he will, and I certainly think he should. Thanks, Jet. I appreciate the call.
If you've got a question for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, call 800-252-1025. Any kind of problem you have, Danny can help you.
I can.
And you can be anonymous or change your name to Penelope if you would like to. You can also email lifecoach@kzok.com. Cheryl in Bellevue writes, I fear my husband is too protective of our daughter, who is 12. He will leave work early to pick her up from school instead of letting her ride the bus. She's getting into soccer, so he'll attend every practice and every soccer camp because he's worried about injury. He even does her chores, like cleaning her room, to keep her from getting into trouble with me. He obviously cares for her, but is it possible to care too much? Am I wrong to think he's taking his parental responsibilities too far?
No, you're not wrong. As a matter of fact, I see that as far as as a family meeting, if you will, with a therapist. It sounds bad, and I don't know where the ending is. Attending every game, I like that. Kids, they want their parents to attend the games, but to check on injuries and things that pick her up from school. Well, here's what he does, and here's his argument: if I don't pick her up and something happens to her, how am I going to live my life? And nothing happens to her if I'm there. So he's got a good argument. If you look in the news today, things happen to kids, but I think definitely he's going too far, and you would benefit from some therapy in your family, because I think he's taking his parental obligations a bit too far.
800-252-1025. Call that number now if you've got any kind of question for the life coach. Any kind of question. He's been through it.
I have.
It's kind of strange, but you have really been through all of these problems some way or another. You can also email lifecoach@KZOK.com. James in Redmond has sent an email. We've been together for 8 years. The problem is I don't want to get married, and she does. We seem to be nearing a breaking point over this. It's nothing personal against my girlfriend. I'm just not a fan of the institution of marriage. I don't think we need it. How can we reach an agreement on this? Or can we?
Well, I certainly think you can reach an agreement. I'll tell you this right now. I like to be a betting man that you guys are going to reach an agreement and it's on her side and you're going to get married. That's what I believe. I've heard this conversation a lot of times because if you say, what difference can a piece of paper make? Well, you're right. I happen to agree with you. But she can use the same argument. What can a piece of paper mean? So she can say, why don't we get married if it doesn't mean anything to you? And I agree with her on this. So why don't you marry this lovely lady? You've been with her for a long time. You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of the institution of marriage, but people seem to want to do it. I'm very happily married. But I think in the long run, you're going to get married to this lady. And you know what? If you don't, she's going to make your life miserable. And it's very easy to pull this plug on a relationship. And I think you're lucky to have the girl. What the hell, buddy? Marry her.
Yeah, if you don't believe in it, then
scram.
Yeah, just do it.
I say just marry. Yeah, if you don't believe in it, just do it then. What does it cost you? Just do it. Marry this lady. And by the way, when you do marry her, she's going to be upset that it wasn't romantic enough because you didn't care. There's no winning on this one except you're going to end up a married man.
Any kind of question that you have, Danny Bonaduce can help you get through it. You just need to make the phone call at 800-252-1025. Whether it's relationships, drugs, your job, your kids.
Relationship's on drugs.
Yes. 800-252-1025 or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Got an email here from Veronica in Bellevue. I think I'm a fun person, entertaining and outgoing, so I find it hard to understand why a long-term friend wants to lose me as a friend. She returns my calls and texts very infrequently and always seems to be too busy to get together. How do I tell if I'm a loser and just not taking the hint? How do I know if I'm being dumped as a friend?
Well, I'd say this. I think it's not hard to dump somebody as a friend. You just stop calling. You just stop texting, not infrequently. That's how life goes. I think you're just growing up. That when I was younger, my friends were the do-all, end-all, and not just in my heart, but, in how important they were to every second of every day. And then later on in life, you calm down with your family. You start, your friends aren't, they mean what they've always meant to you, but they're not the do-all, end-all of that day. They're alive out there somewhere, and that is enough. So I don't think you're getting dumped. I don't think any of that stuff is happening. I think your friend is just growing up a little faster than you. You're not being dumped. Give your friend a call and see when she gets back to you and go, hey, Bonaduce was right, because I always am. When you call her, she calls back in 3 days and says, hey, what's up? It's not that you're less important to her. She just has other things to do now. People are growing up these days. It's horrifying, but they do it.
I also tell people that you shouldn't be afraid to break up with friends. If somebody's a poison in your life or somebody's a big pain in the neck, just break up with them.
Oh, I full on agree with that. If you've got a toxic relationship, get out.
Imagine if you were still friends with Jim O'Neill.
That'd be awesome. I remember when he went bad on me. This is like when I'm 13 years old, and I'm on the Partridge Family. Everybody knows who I am, and we're at a movie theater, and he's causing a ruckus, and I was begging him, stop causing this ruckus. This is going to be a huge hassle for me later. And sure enough, I found out that Danny Partridge was a big hassle at a movie theater, so I stopped seeing that guy because he was just too toxic.
You broke up with Jim O'Neill.
I did. I did.
Good on you.
Thank you. Of course, he did have a brain aneurysm. That could have been part of it.
800-252-1025. That's the number to get through to Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Vinny in Seattle has sent an email to the Life Coach. My job moved, and I spend most of the work week about 3 hours from my family. When I'm with my family, I don't drink at all. But when I'm away for work, I'm so bored. I usually start drinking right after work until I go to sleep. When I'm with my family for extended periods of time, I don't crave alcohol, nor do I have any withdrawal effects or physical pains. I know there's a difference between being an alcoholic and an alcohol abuser. I usually finish a fifth of rum a night. I want to stop, but I just go out of my mind being alone. What do you think I can do? Please help.
Well, you certainly need another alternative. A fifth of booze? Rum is an 80% booze. That's a serious bottle of rum every night. So I think you got to check that immediately. Now, I don't want to cut into your drinking time entirely, and I can't believe that you drink 3 days of the week hardcore like that and then not at any at all around your family, but it's possible. But I think you need to start weaning yourself back to anywhere near a fifth at night. That's, you're doing such damage to your kidneys. And here's the thing they always tell you on any Alcoholics Anonymous test. If you're posing this question, you're in trouble. You would never ask this question. If you say, hey, Danny, do I drink too much? Yes, you drink too much, or you wouldn't ask. But so far, I'm not seeing a big nightmare. You don't drink around your family. You're not a drunk with your family. But I'm telling you the health ramifications, and I don't believe, by the way, that you won't drink around your family soon. That pretty soon you'll be drinking, I just have a couple when I get there to wind down from the work week. I think this is going to jump on over into your family time together. And I would get this under control absolutely right now. Because you know what? You'd just be the one guy that nipped this in the bud before it got terrible, before the DUI, before the big fight. You'd be amazing to cut this off right now before it got terrible. Because I promise you, this is getting terrible right around the corner. All right, that's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach today. I appreciate you for playing. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.